Ocean Story is with you, and I have new stories that touch me. My wife and I have been together for 5 years. We have a baby boy in our family circle, and we were thinking of adding a new addition. One day, faced with a mold problem in the garage, I decided to do an audit in the house, starting with my wife's closet. There I found a gym bag containing clothes, dried fruit, tampons, and approximately $1,000. Posing the question to my wife, I noticed her face instantly turn pale. She tried to reassure me by explaining that the bag was for an earthquake or other emergency. However, when I asked why she kept it from me, she confusedly admitted that the bag was part of the guidelines for women seeking to protect themselves from potential threats. It should contain essentials, including money and clothing. Surprised, I asked why she felt the need for such measures, since there had never been any loud arguments or conflicts between us. She was quick to assure me that she didn't think I was the aggressor, but wanted to be prepared for anything. I could not hide my disbelief at her words, for if there was true trust between us, she would not have resorted to such extreme measures. After a few days of reflection, I came to the conclusion that I could not build a relationship with a woman who did not trust me and saw me as a potential threat. I expressed my desire to break up, explaining that mutual trust is the foundation for any relationship. If it is absent, I felt it was best to make the decision to break up. In response to my words, she began to justify herself, claiming that her opinion had been influenced by mothering forums where the need to have a so-called go bag for emergencies is actively discussed. She showed me these forums in an attempt to explain her position. While I realized that such advice may be common in certain circles, it remains unacceptable to me to have such a stash based on mistrust. I offered myself some more time for reflection, but deep down I was leaning toward divorce as an opportunity for both of them to find someone who would meet their expectations and needs in the relationship. After all, if she doesn't trust me enough to make plans in case she runs away, then maybe she really should be looking for someone she has confidence in and who won't cause her fear of being victimized by aggression. I realize that my bewilderment and willingness to break up may seem hasty or even rash to some, but this situation has made me think about the depth of our relationship and how important it is to feel safe and understood around a loved one. Think before you rush into a divorce decision because of your wife's possession of a travel bag. It may be worthwhile to consult with someone. You don't want to jump to conclusions. Maybe she had a toxic experience in a past relationship. After all, no one is immune to unforeseen circumstances. I don't carry a travel bag, but I always keep my keys handy and think through an emergency plan. That doesn't mean I expect something bad to happen, but being prepared for any circumstance is important. If she has had a toxic relationship in the past or someone close to her has dealt with something similar, her anxiety is well-founded. Just as a prenuptial agreement doesn't signify distrust but rather prudence, having a travel bag can be an expression of concern for your own safety. If I were starting a relationship again, I too would have a travel bag and copies of important documents in a safe place. This is not a sign of distrust of the partner, but rather an indication that the level of trust achieved is a meaningful step. Realizing that everyone can have a travel bag should not be a concern. If my partner had such a bag, I would take it calmly, realizing that it gives him a sense of confidence and peace of mind. Extreme reactions make us wonder if we are missing something important in understanding the situation. Sometimes it feels like someone is looking for an excuse to break up. But having a travel bag doesn't mean a lack of trust. It may simply be the result of reading certain materials or discussions with friends. More likely, it expresses concern for their own safety, not a lack of trust in you. In fact, it seems like you are the one experiencing the mistrust. I wonder why the search for mold led to the need to check all personal belongings. Perhaps you were too preoccupied with that search if it led to the decision to leave your wife and child because of the travel bag you discovered. This is an indication that she needs that bag, but not necessarily indicative of relationship problems.